Hi everybody, welcome back. You would have seen from the start of the video that we've been traveling. We've traveled across to Queensland to visit some good friends. Currently in a place called Kings Beach in Caloundra. I hope I said that correctly. I've come out for a sunrise down at Kings Beach. There's some low cloud around, so I'm not too sure if there's going to be much color in the sky. There's also some high clouds, so hopefully that's going to light up some color at some point. I was down here last night as well, having a bit of a look around, but I've not actually seen this place during the day, so I've got an idea of where I want to be, but I don't know how to get there, so I'm going to have to work that out. Okay, so I think I found a spot on the beach that might be worthwhile taking a shot from. The space I was looking at before is actually, there's still quite a lot of waves coming over the top, so it was supposed to be low tide, and I think it could be, but there's still a lot of waves where I was hoping to be before, so it was a little bit too dangerous. I've come down to another spot to try and take some images. Some pools of water here which look quite nice and might get some nice reflections. Also down here with my good friend John. Say hi, John.
Hi, John.
Thanks.
Morning all, how are you going?
All right, I'm going to get set up, see if I can get an image set up. It's not that far off sunrise, so I've got to be quick about this.
Okay, I've just had to do a quick battery change. We're looking like we're getting a little bit of colour coming through. There is some high wispy clouds, which I think have been lit up behind the thick clouds, so they actually look like they're a bit further away. So they're being lit up by the sun as it comes up, but it's just not going to come through that low bank of clouds across to the left, which is a real shame because this would be a nice morning to see the whole sky lit up. Okay, so I've got the camera set up right now. I've got it set to ISO 100 to try and capture as much of the scene without too much noise. F11 to try and keep everything in focus. So saying that, I am going to focus stack this. I think it only needs about 2 images to focus stack it, but I'm going to try, I'll do 3. I'll do the normal foregrounds, midground, and then from the backgrounds. I've got it set at 13 seconds. I do have I think it's a 6-stop ND filter on at the moment, and I'm going to take this image now because that is just lighting up. Okay, I'm going to take this image right now. Okay, so the scene has changed a little bit in the couple of minutes since the last time I recorded. I've actually saw the sky light up off to the sides, and while I was doing that, it actually seemed that we actually had some more color come through behind the clouds. I don't know if the clouds have just moved a little bit, maybe moved across to the left. It's opened up and given us a lot more of the higher clouds, which is really nice. This is the scene that I'm taking a shot off, so it's pretty much what I was just showing. I've changed the ND filter. I've got like a 10-stop ND filter on there at the moment with the circular polarizer. With the 10-stop ND filter, I've managed to push the exposure time out to 30 seconds. I'm on F11 right now with that 30-second exposure time. So I am going to take that shot now. I think I'm going to focus stack as well, just to make sure that everything is in focus, edge to edge.
Okay, I think that's pretty much it here from Kings Beach. That was a lot better than I was expecting. And when I got down here, it was not quite in the spot that I was hoping for. There was a lot more thick cloud on the horizon, which than I was expecting as well. But the sun was still able to push through and light up some of the high cloud, which was really nice. It did mean that I had to move around pretty quick. But overall, it's been a really nice session. It's also really nice to come down with John as well. So John and I are high school buddies, so we've known each other for quite a while, so it's been good to catch up. How nice is this place? Certainly worth, again, I know I say it all the time, but it's definitely worthwhile coming down to a place like this. Definitely check out Kings Beach. Definitely worthwhile coming down and having a look. For the moment though, John's going to take me around to another spot he thinks he might be worthwhile checking out maybe tomorrow morning. So I might have 2 videos coming from the same location.
So it's still the same day, and I've literally traveled about 40 minutes away, and we've ended up in this stunning rainforest. It's just amazing how we've gone from the beach to a rainforest so quickly. There is promise of a waterfall at some point. You can see my wife in the background. So yeah, there is promise of a waterfall at some point. So I'm going to save the camera for when we get down to the waterfall. Okay, getting pretty close now. You can actually see bits of a waterfall. There's actually multiple waterfalls, and there's a bit of a nice bridge. So yeah, looking forward to this. Not actually done too many waterfalls, so this should be quite good. This is actually going to be a bit of fun. So there was the promise of a waterfall, and it's been delivered. So I've set my camera up. There's quite a few people around, so I'm feeling a little bit self-conscious talking into a camera, so I'm going to be super quick. I'll show you the settings. I don't know if you can see that too well, but this is one of the compositions that I've set up. I've got a 16mm lens on the front. I've got a variable ND filter on there, and I've got the exposure time set to 1.6, just over 1.5 seconds. F11 and ISO 100. I'm going to take multiple shots here because of the way the light is. There's quite a variation in light, so set the exposure here for the rocks at the grounds, and also 1.5 seconds to try and get a bit of nice textures through the waterfall. But I'm going to have to take multiple shots to try and get the sky in as well. So here's the shot. So I've moved around a little bit, and I've just found a different composition. I actually like this one better. I think this is probably my favorite so far. Not coming out too well on the screen, but this is the area that I'm looking at. So the composition I'm looking at is with the rocks, and then the waterfall in the background, and also the bridge across the top. So I've still got the wide angle lens, so that's going to try and take everything into account. Okay, here's the shot. So that was Butterham Waterfall. At least I think that's what it's called. That's what I was told. But how nice was that? Be worth coming back at some point when there's less people around there. I did have to wait to make sure there was no people around when I was taking my shots, which was a little bit difficult. But you can't blame people for coming down here and checking this out. Sorry, a little out of breath. It's been a bit of a climb back out again. Keep watching for some more images, but I think that's it for today.
Okay, so I've come back down to the beach. It's a couple of days later than the last video. How good was that rainforest though? That was absolutely stunning. I know you've seen the images from there, but I'm really looking forward to editing those. I was pretty excited when those images came up on the back of the camera. So I'm down at the same beach I was at last time. There is a lot more cloud around. Also, it's high tide this time. I obviously didn't check the tide forecast very well, and in my head it was still going to be semi-low tide. But yeah, the places that I was looking at previously, they're all covered in water at the moment. So given the high tide and all the clouds that are around, I don't know if I'm going to get the images that I was thinking of, but I'm out. Still good to be out. I've actually just spotted another photographer, so that can't be a bad thing. All right, so I'm going to head down to this place that I was thinking about heading to, try and set up, try and get some compositions.
Okay, I'm down here, I'm all set up, but I've run into a fellow photographer, someone by the name of Lee. I'll include his Instagram links down below. It's worthwhile checking out. He's got some amazing stuff. Can you say hi, Lee?
Hey guys, how are you?
Yep.
Perfect morning.
It is, well.
Not really, but making most of the situation.
Absolutely. And that's what it's all about coming out here. I think this morning's going to be a bit of a write-off. It's starting to rain. There's the higher tide that I was expecting. Also, the sun's just about to come up, and we're not seeing anything coming through the clouds at all. So the clouds, you can actually see it from here. They're actually quite thick. Now that the sun's starting to come up, you can see how thick the clouds actually are. It's been nice meeting Lee. We spent most of the time just chatting about photography and traveling and things like that. So that's been really nice. I'm going to take one more shot, and I'll go through that in a minute. The waves themselves are starting to pick up, and there's some rocks that they're starting to smash against. So I'm thinking that I might make a move in a minute and just go out there and take some shots of the waves hitting the rocks.
This is the composition that I'm currently looking at. I've tried to focus more on getting something interesting in the foreground. So I found some like nice colored rocks that's in the immediate foregrounds. A bit of a leading line going out into the sea, and then the sea and the sky itself, which is, there's not much going on there at all. So I've got this at 30 seconds, f11, ISO 100s. I've got the circular polarizer on, and I think it's the 6-stop ND filter I've got on there at the moment. So which has pushed the exposure time out to 30 seconds. So given how much there is in the foreground, I'm going to focus stack this one. So I'm going to take, again, 3 shots, once focusing right in front of me, once in the midgrounds, and then once in the background, and then I will stack all the images together in Photoshop. So here's the image.
Right, so I'll come down to do another swat. Where I was before, there wasn't really a lot happening. There's not a lot of light that's come through the clouds. They're starting to get a bit of light coming through now, but the sun is well and truly up. Where we were pointing our cameras, it's still got like a solid blank cloud, so there's nothing that's going to happen from where I was before. From where I was before, I could see a bit of a rock structure that was just basically heading out into the water. And it looked like there was a lot of clouds, and it looked like there was a lot of water and waves and stuff like that just hitting the end of that rock structure. That looked pretty good. There's also quite a few surfers out here, so the waves are fairly decent. I think they're actually getting a bit bigger, to be honest. So I've come down here just to see if I can get some more action shots with some of the waves hitting the end of the rocks. So I'm just keeping an eye on how big the waves are getting. I'm also starting to get a bit of light coming through in the direction that I'm looking. So I'm actually facing away from the sunrise, but some of the colour is just coming through to the clouds now, which is great. So this is the composition that I have set up. I've increased the shutter speed to 500th of a second, and to do that I've also dropped down the aperture to 5.6 and bumped the ISO up to 200 just to try and get everything, get as much light as I can. So I'm just trying to keep an eye on the waves while I'm trying to talk through the composition. It's a fairly simple composition overall, basically just pointing straight out towards the end of the rock structure. Not very exciting, so I'm hoping to capture a fair bit of activity at the end. I've zoomed out to 105 mil, which is the maximum for this lens. I'm actually thinking about just picking the camera up and walking down closer to the end of the rocks at the moment, maybe get a better image. See how I go with this one for the moment. So you can see there's a fair bit of colour coming through in the sky at the moment. More some oranges than anything, but it does make the background a bit more interesting, not just having like a solid white background. So that's pretty much it from this spot. I'm going to go through some of the shots, some of the ones that I really like from this location, and here they are now. Okay, that's it from me for this morning, I think. The rain is starting to come through. The golden light in the sky is starting to disappear, and there's really not much else happening. So I'm about to head off, grab a coffee, and start packing. Today's the last day. So I've got to say, it's been awesome being out here. Been great to visit some friends. Great to get out and take some photos at a different location. And just get away in general. I really enjoy these kinds of things. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you out there next time.
It's a good camera, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm David Bailey now. We're good.
That was quite a lot when things changed. Keep watching for some more.
So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pick out